Hey, Vinyl Community, Jeff back again. Time to jump on question number 9 of the VC Lottery. Running out of time. End of the month's coming fast. If you haven't jumped on board, it's probably too late now, unless you can pump out 10 videos in a short amount of time. Yes, anyway, the VC Lottery is you answer 10 questions, potential to get 20 some odd gifts from people. So looking forward to the responses that people are doing. It's been great so far. Question number 9 is the number one band that people might associate with you. And that's going to be tough because it depends on who the people are. But I think that people, my immediate family, people who know me very closely, people who may have known me since I was a kid are probably going to associate me with one band. Like I say, different crowds may associate me with other bands because there's a couple bands that I've gravitated towards. But for me, I think everyone in my immediate family and probably people that are closest to me are going to associate me with the first band I ever got into as a teenager, and I've told the story 100 times before, and that's Kiss. Now I'm going to give you a little more of a detailed story behind how I learned about Kiss, and as the more I think about this, the more I realize, because I always thought it was around 77 I got into them, but it really probably was 78, because I'll tell you what. First time I ever heard of Kiss was my older brother and my stepbrother were in their room one day, and I have a cassette. I was one of those kids that used to carry a cassette recorder around. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Just interrupting people and talking to them, being silly, being goofy, telling jokes, stuff like that. I still have some of those cassettes from back then in the 70s where I'm wandering around doing that. And I went into the room and you can hear this music playing. I mean, I should have pulled this cassette out and put this on there. There's this music playing. It's this live album. And what it is it's Kiss Alive 1. My brother is being shown by my stepbrother this album, and they're reading the letters on the inside. And I remember this as if it was yesterday. I remember walking in and seeing them with the album open, reading those letters. And I think on the cassette that I've got, I actually, thank you for helping us, blah, blah. I read it out loud on the thing. And they were listening to, Kiss Alive. I didn't know what Kiss Alive was. I didn't know what Kiss was. I just remember that day. I remember those records. I've heard that cassette over and over, growing up as a kid, of me doing that. And I realized that it was Kiss Alive 1 that they were listening to. It was Kiss Alive 1 that they were reading. So this is when I first heard about it. It didn't connect with me. So jump forward a few years, and one of my friends from my neighborhood, we all hung out together. We were at her house, and her older sister had Kiss Alive 2. And we pulled it out and listened to it because we kind of pulled it out to make fun of Shock Me, because Ace Frehley sang kind of weird. And we thought, listen to this guy, he's kind of weird. Shock me, make me feel better. It struck us as kind of odd, his vocal stylings. But I remember we pulled this out. For me, yeah, it was kind of weird, but it clicked. There was something about it. So this is where I discovered them through a friend's sister's music collection. And so her sister had this. We listened to it, and I thought, I don't know, something clicked. So this album was already out by the time I got into Kiss. So this would have been probably 78, because it would have had to give in time for that. But the first album I ever bought was Love Gun, because that would have been their newest album at the time. Would have been this, because I remember buying this and then seeing this on the record shelves at the Montgomery Wards where I bought one of these. So, but this is where I bought this, probably followed closely by Kiss Alive 2. This is where it started for me. I'm going to say 1978, 12 years old. Saw Kiss in 1979, not quite 13. It was like 3 weeks before I turned 13. Saw them on the Dynasty Tour. Oh, I was absolutely just blown away. My first concert, my first rock concert. And so, yeah, that's where it started for me. And since then, I have seen Kiss probably more than any other band. Not that I've seen them a lot. I've seen them more in the past 20 years than I did in the first 20 years. But I saw them in 79 and in 81 and then 83 for the Lick It Up tour. And that was about it, because in 84 I moved to Mississippi and nobody ever came to Mississippi. They were scheduled to play in Mississippi in 85 and they canceled the show. So I don't know why they canceled the show. Saw a lot of other good bands in Mississippi. Iron Maiden, Dio, Dokken, Wasp. But Kiss canceled. Never saw them in 85. And then for like the next 20 years, I don't think I saw them. It wasn't until I moved back to Virginia and I saw them in like 2003, which is the one that's been released on vinyl recently. So yeah, so I have, and I've seen them quite a bit since then. Every couple years in the past 20 years. So, but I have, and I have the dolls. I have books. I should pull out all. I should have pulled out all the books. I don't have a lot of the collector. I don't have autographs. I don't have. I didn't buy all the weird Kiss Online rare editions. I haven't invested a lot of that. I don't have any of the super rare copies of anything. Ever since I got back into vinyl, I've been picking up what I can. But I have all the comic books. I have all of them. Not all of them, but quite a few of the figures. I used to have the dolls when I was younger, but don't have those anymore. I've just picked up a lot of the paraphernalia over the years. I don't have a ton of it currently, but have always been a big fan. I think my family knows I've been a big fan, so that would probably be one of the ones that I would be associated with the most. So that's my answer, and I'm going to stick with that one. That's about as close as it gets. People are going to know, if they've known me for a long time, that Jeff's a big Kiss fan. So I'm going to leave it at that one, and I will see you on the next one. Got to knock out number 10 soon. Rock on and rock hard.